Hey everyone, my name is Jazer. In this video, I want to teach you a beginner warm-up that isn't your traditional scales or arpeggios. It's an exercise that sounds like an actual song. Scales and arpeggios are very important, but sometimes maybe you just want to play something a little different to spice things up. I'm first going to teach you step by step how to play the exercise that you just saw and heard, and then in the later part of the video, I'm going to give you 4 bonus challenges to make things a little bit more interesting for you to practice. And just before we get into the tutorial, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel to stay in touch with more of these free piano lessons and tutorials. We're going to first start by learning the right hand. All you need are fingers 1, 2, and 4, and you're going to place them on G, C, and E. Okay, so to play this exercise, you're going to start on the E, travel down, and back up, like this. Pretty easy, right? So this little riff here happens throughout the entire warm-up. Let's now jump into learning the left hand. The left hand moves around a little bit more. You're going to need to play in 4 positions for the left hand. So you're going to start on the C position, or you can call this the C chord. You're going to play this 4 times, and then you move to the G, and then to A, down to F. Okay, we're going to start again on the C. To G now. Next is going to the A. And finally to the F. Okay, and when you've mastered both hands, you can start to put them together. And that's it, it's really that simple. Just some extra advice, make sure when you're playing to rotate your wrist as well, like this. So don't play stiffly like that. Make sure you're rotating your wrist, like this, very freely. Because this is a warm-up exercise, you want to make sure you're warming up and moving your wrists too. Alright, let's move on now to our 4 bonus challenges. So how did you go with that warm-up exercise? Was that easy, medium, or difficult for you? Let me know in the comments. Once you've mastered that basic warm-up exercise, let's move on now to 4 bonus challenges that's going to make things a little bit more interesting for you. Challenge 1 is the slow left hand. So in the original challenge, you were playing something like this, where every right hand note, your left hand is also playing one. Dum 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 dum. But this time, you're going to play left hand twice as slow as the right hand. So something like this. One more time, it looks like this. So challenge 1 in its complete form sounds like this. Moving on to challenge 2. Challenge 2 is the left hand stretch. So the left hand in this challenge looks something like this. Repeat again. Move down to the G. And to the A. Remember, each one of them is always twice. Second round. And to the F. Repeat again, please. To the A now. F. I love this one. This one sounds really beautiful, and it's also a really good warm-up for your left hand to do that little stretch with your thumb. So once you master that, you can then play it together. to challenge 3. This one is slightly more on the difficult side, so proceed with caution. Challenge 3 is called Create a Right Hand Melody Line. In challenge 3, I want you to imagine splitting your right hand into 2 different parts. Okay, so if you imagine that these 2 fingers are one hand, and this is 3, 4, 5 is like another hand. So imagine you cut your hand into 2 to make 2 hands, okay? So for this first part, we're doing the C, G, C, C, G, C. We're gonna keep it as it is. But then at the top part, this time, instead of playing just the E, this time you can play any other notes around this range. So you can do something like this. Now remember, the only rule is that you have to keep this, okay, this part of the hand. But with the E, you can replace that with anything around this area. Now it depends on how big your hands are, but probably a good range to play are notes from D to about A or B. Okay, so play any note in this range in replacement of the E. So something like this. This is a good chance for you to improvise and compose something for yourself. But let's say you're not really sure how to do that at the moment. Here are 2 examples that I've created myself that you can follow first before you go and compose something yourself. So you can do something like this. Okay, so remember, you have now 2 hands within your right hand. This part, that remains the same the entire way, but then your 3, 4, 5, this other hand over here, you're allowed to play any notes here. And you can follow my examples for now. So you can do something like this. The sky's the limit. You can really do any notes in it and try and create something that sounds nice for yourself. It's very interesting to do in this challenge 3 because within one hand, it almost sounds like you're playing 2 different parts. And so people say, wow, that sounds really busy or sounds really pro, right? And that's because you're doing more than one thing with this hand. So very interesting technique to learn to do this challenge. Now, if you've mastered challenge 1, 2, and 3, and you still want something else, you can move on to my final challenge, challenge 4. Challenge 4 is the combination of all 1, 2, and 3. This one's a pretty hard one. You might have to just really slow it down and practice hands separately before you merge it all together. And there you go. That's a beginner warm-up that doesn't sound like our traditional scales and arpeggios, just something that sounds a bit more modern and interesting to try. How did you go with this warm-up? Which challenges could you do? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to practice daily, and I'll catch you in the next video.